Welcome back to my off-grid cabin build series. If you haven't seen my other videos, you should probably check those out right now. This is video number 3, in which I install doors and windows. All these doors and windows in this video I've recycled from other job sites, and so I'm having to kind of custom fit each one. Before, when I framed the shell of the cabin, I basically oversized everything. Here I'm having to adjust the header, the original header size. I had made it too small because, again, I didn't know exactly how big it was going to be. So here I am installing the king studs and the trimmers, and I'm making it to the exact size of the window. I'm leaving about a 1/4 inch on each side and top and bottom for shimming. I'm making sure that box is pretty close to what it's supposed to be. Here I am putting the header to support that window. Don't forget to add waterproofing bituthane wrap on the bottom. All right, and this weekend my sister came out to help me. I couldn't have lifted this by myself. As you can see, it's pretty heavy. And I borrowed some suction cups, which are super handy in lifting those heavy windows. And we're adding screws to the flanges, making sure everything is level. And we're going to screw off each hole just to make sure it's all solid. Here I am on the inside cutting out the box for that window. And I'll show you guys in a minute on both sides of my cabin. I have put the header to the very top of the top plate so it supports that window. So there's structural support above that window. Here I am once again just framing the box for the window flange to be screwed into. And again, I'm leaving about a 1/4 inch top and bottom on either side for shimming space to adjust and make sure that window is level. All right, and here we are installing that window. It's pretty straightforward with those flange wings. Just gotta screw it off like I do on all the other windows. And again, I'm repeating the process on this vertical window. And once again, I'll show you guys, I have the header to the very top of the top plate, so there's structural support above the window. And here we are, just adding that one last window. I put this window here because I'm gonna have a loft that basically starts at the right end of that window and it goes back, but I'll show you guys that in a later video. All right, there's the window. There's the oversized header at the top plate. So there's structural support above the window. And again, this one I've had to custom make a header right above that big window. And see there's no header on the window. That's at the top of the top plate. All right, and that's the back view. Okay, and again, the door opening I had before was oversized, so now I'm adding the king studs and making it exact to what it's supposed to be. Just finishing off the sheathing, making sure it's all sealed off here. And I'm adding the waterproofing here at the door threshold, making sure it's really good. If it looks high, it's because it is, and in later videos I'm going to show you it's because I'm lifting up the floor on the interior of the cabin, so there's a small step. It's about 3-inch step there. Then you add the caulk, make sure there's waterproofing at the bottom of the threshold so no water from melted snow gets in there. All right, and here we are. This is a pre-hung door from Home Depot. This is one of the only items I bought brand new in this video. Pretty straightforward. Once again, I left a little bit of shimming space in that box opening. And I'm just carefully starting at the bottom, leveling up, screwing, adding big screws at the hinge points. Once you make sure that hinge side is plumb and square, everything else is pretty easy. Here I'm adding finished screws just to the casement itself, making sure everything's square and plumb. And then adjust the locking mechanism and the handle. There's instructions that come with those, so it's pretty straightforward. And last but not least, here I am adding the last small operating window. It's going to be right next to a wood burning stove, so I wanted to have a little window that opens up, can let some air in. All right, don't forget the bituthane waterproofing at the bottom. Pretty straightforward, just making sure everything's plumb and level. All right, and last but not least, it's to add the waterproofing bituthane at the flange points. Normally, this process you want to do after you add the moisture wrap around the house, which is usually Tyvek. And I'm kind of doing this backwards. I know experienced builders will say like, hey, why didn't you do that first? It's because I can't finish very quickly and the wind in this area is so heavy, it's going to blow that waterproof wrap off. So I'm holding off for now. All right, guys, that's it for the third installment of my progress on my off-grid cabin.